An appeals court in Georgia has struck a possibly fatal blow for the case against Donald Trump in that state, the racketeering case, by disqualifying Fulton County District Attorney Fani Willis from being able to prosecute President-elect Donald Trump and the others, about 18 others, for allegedly attempting to overturn the 2020 presidential election. It's not just Willis that was disqualified, her entire office. Now, this decision overturns a ruling made by Fulton County Superior Court Judge Scott McAfee, allowing Willis to remain on the case if Special Prosecutor Nathan Wade withdrew because the two were in a romantic relationship. Now, he withdrew from the case, allowing it to go forward, but Trump and the others had appealed that decision, and now, as a result, the appeals court has put a complete stop in her involvement in the case, saying that even though Wade had withdrawn, her involvement still showed, quote, an appearance of impropriety. Of course. The remedy crafted by the trial court to prevent an ongoing appearance of impropriety did nothing to address the appearance of impropriety that existed at times when DA Willis was exercising her broad pretrial discretion about who to prosecute and what charges to bring. While we recognize that an appearance of impropriety generally is not enough to support disqualification, this is the rare case in which disqualification is mandated and no other relevant remedy will suffice to restore public confidence in the integrity of these proceedings. So understand that is like the nuclear option. Okay, this appeals court is like, well, normally we don't disqualify people for this because she already got rid of Wade, but I mean, there are other considerations. Really, what other considerations will restore public confidence in the integrity of these proceedings? Nothing. Because understand that the integrity of these proceedings has been under attack constantly by the right wing, by Donald Trump, ever since these charges were announced. And so, you know, there was nothing that was going to restore the right wing's confidence in these proceedings, because they think every case against Donald Trump, they say, is, oh, it's a sham, it's lawfare, they're just trying to, a bunch of Democrats trying to get Donald Trump. So, yeah, I guess their only thing is, well, we just got to get rid of the case then. But they didn't. Even though Willis is out, technically the case can still go on. The court did rule that any case, or that the case may continue even without Willis or her office being involved, saying that while this is a rare case in which DA Willis and her office must be disqualified due to a significant appearance of impropriety, we cannot conclude that the record also supports the imposition of the extreme sanction of dismissal of the indictment under the appropriate standard. Basically, that means the case is going to continue, but also not really. You see, the Georgia Appeals Court decision, understandably, throws the entire case into chaos. They got to find all new people, not just her, but a completely new office. That is going to take time. Okay, state officials are now going to have to find somebody to fill the role. A process that could at best bring the case to a standstill, or, let's be honest, more likely to just completely kill it outright. All on what I believe is a technicality, right? And that's what this is. Donald Trump's appeal on this case doesn't have anything to do with the merits of the case or any of the evidence involved. It's just, you see, they're dating, and that's wrong. They're just going to try to make money off prosecuting Donald Trump. And she's trying to win elections, yes, and that's it. That's it. And so they're making the decision to appeal based on that, or that's what they made the decision to appeal on. That's their argument, and the court was like, "Well, yeah, sure, we're gonna go with that then." Notice how it wasn't about the evidence at all that Donald Trump tried to tamper with the election. because that's ultimately what the case is about. But this decision to disqualify and basically kill the case, because let's be honest, it's going to kill the case. Not about the evidence.
Just forget about the evidence.
And understand that that's what Donald Trump does. He makes every case about something other than the evidence against him. And now, of course, we don't get to see the extent of the evidence that she had. Even if the case decides to go, somebody is actually able to take up the case, we won't see anything until, 2029? Yeah. Now, Willis's office does intend to fight this. On Thursday, they filed a notice saying that the office intends to appeal the court's decision, which, if taken up, could move the case to Georgia's Supreme Court. And there is no guarantee of victory there. So once again, I'm just gonna say, I think the case is dead. It's dead, Jim. That's it. I mean, maybe I'm being too much of a pessimist here, but I don't see it going forward. It doesn't matter how strong her evidence is. It's always going to be, according to now this decision, the whole thing is tainted, or he'll find some other way to delay the case if somebody ends up taking it up. So I don't know. Now, Pete Skandakis, executive director of the Nonpartisan Prosecutors Attorney Council of Georgia, is going to be responsible now for determining who will take up the task of prosecuting the president-elect and his co-defendants, according to Lawfare's senior editor Anna Bauer. She did warn, though, that it's easier said than done. Quote, realistically, it will be quite difficult to find another prosecutor who will be willing to take on this case. Yeah. I mean, imagine trying to prosecute a sitting president. Yeah. That's going to be difficult. And that's if the appeals court decision is not overturned by the Georgia Supreme Court. This likely spells the end of the prosecution against Trump and others in Fulton County, Bauer writes. And there it is. Here we go. Donald Trump skating away from the consequences once again. Teflon Don. I suppose that's what happens when you let rich and powerful people take over the government and write the rules to rig the rules in their own favor. You end up with this and so many other ways to try to tie up and challenge indictments, challenge court cases. As long as you have money and you have power, this shows you that you can basically evade the law. Okay? For the most part. I mean, unless, of course, you steal from other rich people. Then, okay, that's the one crime that if you were wealthy that you will not be able to get away with. Okay? But let me get to the idea of the impropriety. Oh, there's an appearance of impropriety. For what? Because they had a personal relationship? Okay, but was there any evidence presented showing that that personal relationship ended up leading to some sort of corruption in the case? No, not to my knowledge. Okay, and so but again, that's what the appearance of impropriety. Oh, this looks bad. Okay, it looks bad. But wait, she got rid of him. Why does that still look bad? Well, because, they were making the decisions and stuff of who to go after while they were still together. So that just tainted the entire case completely. Oh, that's the appearance of impropriety. What's funny is, how is that worse than having a judge that you handpicked for that position, that judgeship, right? Being picked to oversee your own case, to preside over it, and then end up dismissing it. How is that not an appearance of impropriety? It seems way more of an issue here, but that's exactly what happened to Trump's case, the documents case in Florida. So, I mean, you want to talk about appearance of impropriety, Trump's chock full of it, okay? And yet, here, unfortunately, at the end of the day, we have another example of the law failing to hold a rich and powerful individual accountable for their alleged actions. We have no rule of law in this country anymore, and not for rich people. Maybe we never had. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please like, share, subscribe, hit the bell icon in order to get notified whenever a new video is released. And if you want to support independent, progressive media through this difficult time where it seems like everybody is shutting down, you can become a member on our YouTube page, you can become a subscriber on Facebook, or you can go to my Patreon. It's patreon.com/Jeff Waldorf. Thank you.